Hello, my name is David Finale. I'm the broker owner of Century 21 UDAN Realty, located in the heart of Bergen County in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, right on the boulevard. We're going to talk about Bergen County market statistics. That's the real estate market, for those who didn't know. And I just want to start out with one fact that the National Association of Realtors tells us that nationwide, 14,000 homes sell every day. Now, they're not saying that 14,000 are going to be sold today and going to be sold tomorrow. What that means is that on average, every day, there's 14,000 homes sold every day. Just to start out with, we need to talk about the tax credit of 2010, which ended April 30th and on to June 30th. And what that, you had to close by June 30th. And what that did was it accelerated the market. A lot of people say it was great for the real estate industry, it was great for the economy. Baloney. All it did was accelerate the real estate market. So what you had was a lot of business being done up through April 30th. Really not much in January, February of last year, but March and April were great months for the real estate business, and then closings by June 30th, so you'll see a spike. So when you think about market statistics in Bergen County, you're really not going to know anything of what really happened this year until December 31st, 2011. If anybody else tells you about market statistics in June and how bad we're doing, you can't really listen to that because there's going to be a huge spike from last June and a huge drop to this June. That's my opinion. I had also thought that inventory would be going up over this time over last year, but it hasn't. Okay, prices in Bergen County have remained basically static. They've gone up and down, little tick, little pike here and there, but they've remained pretty static. But that's on average. There's a lot of losers and a lot of winners when it comes to prices in Bergen County. When we talk about homes being sold and what the absorption rate is, and basically what that means is the inventory, how much inventory there is, and compared to sales. And what that is really pretty simple, is how many homes sold in the month and how long will it take to sell that many homes. Right now, Bergen County is at just under 14% at 13.9, down from 15.6 from March. The month-to-month for the beginning of this year, 2011, is pretty stable. However, if you look at inventories from last year compared to this year, that you can look at. And actually, when people say that we should have more inventory, as I did in the beginning of the year, well, I was completely wrong. But then again, a lot of experts are wrong time to time. We have an inventory level which is 5% lower than it was last year at this time. So what does that mean? Homes are selling. Homes are still being put on the market. But if you look at year over year through April 30th, we've got more than a 10% drop in inventory alone. Why is that happening? Pretty simple. There's several factors. Number one, last year you had the tax credit, and more people were trying to sell their homes and take advantage of the tax credit as buyers were taking advantage of it. Number two, there's still a lot of foreclosures, distressed properties, which have not been released to the market. And number three, which is the most telling factor and the most important factor, is that because we've had anywhere from a 10 to 20% drop in pricing and sales over the last few years, equity has gone down. People have actually lost equity in their homes. They still have a mortgage. The mortgage didn't go down. The banks aren't going to allow that. But equity went down. So people that normally would sell their home and move laterally to another house or move away or move up or down, whatever, they're not doing it because they're going to lose money when they do that. So there's less homes on the market. So taking all this into consideration, we've got to look at what's happening with distressed properties. Distressed properties have actually been up and down all year long, where we've gone from a high of 71% of homes sold in Bergen County being distressed down to the mid 60% rate. What that means is that over 60% of the homes sold in Bergen County are distressed properties. But here's the good news. We're starting to tick up and see an uptick in pending home sales. So sales are starting to increase. The 5-year outlook for home pricing, according to macro markets, states that we're going to be going a little bit down this year and start coming up by the end of next year. And then over the next 5 years, we could have an uptick of total of 10% in equity, total of 10% in the pricing of the houses. So that's a good thing to look at. So let's quickly wrap this up with one thing, and that's the hot and cold cities or towns in Bergen County. Well, the hottest town really year over the last 4 quarters was Cresskill. They're up in sales almost 82%. 33% in Paramus and 22% in Fort Lee. Those are the hot towns in Bergen County. Now the bad news. The towns that are not selling as much as they did the previous 4 quarters are Woodland Park, Rutherford, Saddlebrook, and Franklin Lakes of all places. So if you look at southern Bergen County, Rutherford's hurting a little bit. So we look at all these statistics. If you want to see all these things I've talked about, if you're on the century21udan.com site, right below this video is a link to the PDF which has all this information. Thanks for your time. Sorry it's a little bit longer this time, but it's good stuff. If you want to talk to me, call me at 201-288-5533, or you can email me at bergenreinfo@gmail.com. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next month.